Hey everyone, happy start to the week. I am here, Allie, with the Right Place, Right Time, to drop another memoir minute. And so if you've been following along, then these are little short videos that help you learn how to write a emotionally compelling and well-crafted memoir 1 minute at a time, sometimes 5 minutes at a time, depending on how much I have to say on a given day. Today, we're picking up where we left off. The last however many weeks, we've been talking about different things to really be mindful of when you're drafting your manuscript. So these have been little quick lessons, kind of creative writing lessons, if you will. And today's lesson is about not skipping over important details, even if they're insignificant, because when we skip over certain details, it makes it hard for the reader to follow what has happened between point A and point D. So the reason that this whole video is called "You Skipped Getting Out of the Car" is because a lot of the times as we are writing scenes and we're getting into the middle of writing a story and saying what happened, we'll have somebody pull into the driveway and the next thing you know, they're in the kitchen and we never saw them get out of the car, go through the front door and get into the kitchen for the important conversation to happen. We don't necessarily need to spend a lot of time and energy creating those connections between driveway and kitchen. But oftentimes we do actually need them to be there so that we know where we are. And I do this myself actually when I am writing for others. So I spot this really well as an editor. I don't always spot this myself as a writer. I just had an editor who was looking at a manuscript that I had written recently, and she pointed out 3 or 4 different scenarios where I had failed to bring people with me where I went next. And one of the examples was a little bit less tangible than like the car pulls into the driveway and then somebody goes into the house. My transitions were missing where I would be in a present moment and then I would go into something from the past and then come back to the present moment. And I wasn't giving the reader any indicator that I was back in the present moment. So, for example, another way that this shows up is okay, the main character is going for a walk and they're walking their dog. And then while they're walking their dog, their mind wanders. They remember something that happened the day before, they remember something from the past, right? And then all of a sudden they're back to walking the dog, but you don't say anything. And so the reader still thinks that you're talking about the past, even though really you're back in the present, right? So we have to be mindful of these things so that our reader's not tripped up by where we are in time and space and can follow along appropriately with the story. We don't want the reader to be interrupted in how they are relating to the story by having left out significant details. And significant, not necessarily meaning critical to the plot, but significant in that it allows the reader to understand what's going on. So those are some things that you want to watch out for as you are drafting. Now, if you would like to spend some more time talking to me about writing your book, things that are tripping you up, blocking you, challenges that you're having, then I would really love for you to sign up to go on a story stroll with me. These are free 20-minute calls. And this is a chance for you to be one-to-one in a conversation and have us just talk about your book and what is happening. Okay. So these are beautiful, beautiful little kind of like movers and shakers kind of conversations to get you unstuck, moving again, get you some free resources, figure out what you need next. All right. The other thing that I would love for you to go and grab is my free 5-step writing guide to starting and finishing your memoir. This gives you the whole kind of bird's eye view of the path from blank page all the way to publication, and is also a free resource. So if you are just getting started, you do not want to miss out on the opportunities to grab these 2 things. They are a perfect way to begin and get started on the right foot with the right insight and the right advice. So please check those out, grab those resources. If you've got questions, send me a DM, and I will be back here again next week for another Memoir Minute. Have a great week.